Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my channel. Now, as you were aware, earlier today I posted a short of me dancing to a song that was from a movie, and I know that some of you guys have already liked it and everything, but also I know that some of it is kind of a little bit cringe. I'm not gonna lie. Um, I just had fun. I mean, like, I wasn't really caring about what you guys think or whatever. I was just enjoying myself, and plus, I mean, the song was a hit. Not to mention, it's getting so popular that I didn't expect my video to even reach 1,000 views on the short, but that's that. Anyway, we are going to be reviewing some more Army Men, which I have bought 2 packages on eBay. So without further ado, let's get into the unboxing. Okay, guys, so here we are. We're going to go ahead and start opening these packages with my trusty knife. Okay, so we have some TSSD soldiers, which are Romans and Barbarians, also known as Toy Soldiers of San Diego. Got a set here, which looks pretty cool. Let's take a look. Let's see what's in the other box. So we also have some Civil War soldiers here, unbranded, but we're going to go ahead and set up these armies and review them both. So without further ado, let us continue. We have the Roman army. As you can see, they look pretty cool in their poses, but unfortunately one of the Roman soldiers could not stand. But other than that, the Roman figures and poses themselves are really cool. Now let's move on to the Barbarian set. We are at the Barbarians. As you can see, all of them are able to stand, which is great, but it is a disappointment on the Roman side. However, I will talk more about this in the review. Let's go ahead and move on to the Civil War section right now. Here we have some off-brand Civil War Union soldiers. I believe they're supposed to be a Marx set because I believe that's what they are. But other than that, the poses are cool. I like the new styles. I'll break down more about that. Now let's move on to the Confederates. Here we have the Confederate Army. And as you can see, I think there are Marx, like I said, on the Union side. But the poses are really cool and everything. And now we're going to head on to the review. Okay, so as for the Romans and the Barbarian set, I was disappointed that one of the Roman figures had been somewhat flattened to the point where they couldn't even stand, which was a big disappointment. But as for the Barbarian side, at least some of the Barbarians stood, and as for the Romans, at least almost all of them did stand. So for the rating on that, I'm giving it a 4 out of 10, because even though the set itself was cool, some of the Roman soldiers, one Roman soldier was flattened to the point where he couldn't even stand, and I tried bending him to stand, but it didn't work. But as for the Barbarians, they were able to stand, but as for the Romans, only one wasn't able to stand. Now, as for the Civil War set, or the Civil War, I would say Marx brand, but I don't really know for sure. But I'm calling it Marx because they look like a Marx type soldier. toy. As for the marks, that set is a 10 out of 10. All the soldiers were able to stand. I got some new cool looking, well detailed figures. Speaking of which, I might as well go ahead and just show you. So we have a guy here with his Colt, drawing it out, ready to shoot at anybody who's trying to charge him. We have a soldier loading his rifle with a ramrod. We have a soldier firing his musket. A soldier who's really cocking his rifle, or basically pulling the hammer on his rifle back, which looks pretty cool. I don't know if you can see that. I don't think so, but that's that. Soldier on standby here, which looks cool and similar to some of my other figures. We have a soldier with a flag, and he's pointing or directing his men or giving morale to his men to charge on a hill or something, probably talking to a general or a captain, a commanding officer. We have a soldier at attention or left shoulder position, about to march on the field. We have a soldier on knee in a winter dress with the little trench coat he's wearing. I think he's fighting during the Battle of Fredericksburg. We have an officer with a sword, which is really cool. And we have a soldier who is wounded on the battle, and he's using his rifle as a crutch while he is walking on his broken leg and have his arm bandaged and his head bandaged, which I don't know if you can really tell, but if you go back to the pictures, there are some figures like this, and it's rare to have one of these, so I say it's really cool. It gives it more authenticity. Now, as for the rebel side, however, we have regular Confederate infantry with their rifle taking a shot. A soldier in his winter dress, bayonet charging or fighting off Union soldiers during, I'm guessing, the Battle of Fredericksburg or any battle that takes place during the winter. We have a commanding officer probably giving orders to his men while holding his Colt revolver in his hand and pointing to the direction where the enemy is. A regular Confederate infantry in basically a normal position, charging while running on the field. A soldier in winter dress taking fire upon or shooting at a Union soldier in his winter coat, probably still, like I said, one of those battles. We have a soldier who has been shot, and he's clutching his chest and has his mouth open as he dies in agony or giving his last breath before he falls on his back. A soldier in right shoulder position and are marching on the field, which I have a similar version of this in my Civil War bucket, but it's not as new, like a newish plastic than this, but it's that. We have a guy here with his rifle in his hand. He's holding it with one hand, and it appears to be a sharpshooting rifle, and based on the uniform he's wearing, he's probably a huntsman or a sharpshooter elite, which looks pretty cool. Let me see what else we got. A soldier running on the field or sprinting across. We have a commanding officer with his vest open, his sword in his hand, and he has a Colt revolver in his left. Colt revolver in his left, saber in the right, and he has a feather on his hat, and he's giving orders to his men while fighting, or probably fighting soldiers during a charge battle, which just looks pretty cool. Now, Civil War, 10 out of 10. Romans and Barbarians, 4 out of 10, like I mentioned before. But overall, great soldiers, well detailed, great for historical reenactments on some occasions, except with the Romans, I'm a little bit disappointed. But I have at least a majority that can stand, so I can do more reenactments with them. But other than that, that's basically it. And I guess that's it. That's basically it on my review. But here are the numbers of each soldiers, and then after that, that will be it. There will be no more announcements. So, peace.
The year was 1900, just worth